Hello everyone, welcome back to the second ever tier list video. So last time, if you didn't see the first episode, we did all these games, like talked about them and rated them. Check out that video if you have not. And today we're now going over the next set of Flash games. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of stacking them on top of the first set. I can easily just get rid of the first set and just have this one. But I think it would just be better to have like an overall just a massive tier list. Plus, it's nice to have something to look back to. And being that I'm calling these episodes of the series, it would make sense to base stuff off previous episodes. At least these Flash games. And without further ado, so based on episode 1, I listed these based on when I uploaded them. Or I should have them uploaded anyway. Anyway, So yeah, let's just kind of get straight into it. It's 15 games, less than last time, so we won't have the issue hopefully as long of a time. The first episode, I apologize for that. Maybe I'll try and do them every like 15 instead of like 27. Oh my gosh. All right, so Duck Life 3. That was an interesting game. So comparing it to Duck Life 1 and 2, which is on the list respectively, I sort of appreciate what they did, like with the gimmick of having like the eggs and like having in the sense that you can like choose your starting thing in terms of like a skill thing, and then once you like play through and beat all the races in the first segment, you get to the second one, which has like sure they're not new mini games, but like reskinned ones, which like so give it like a new look. However, they took away the shop, which is not great. So I think I'm going to give Duck Life 3, and the music's alright. Like just a little bit above Duck Life 1. I like it just a bit more, and as a sequel, I do wish it was a bit better. But like after 2 games later, we still really didn't have anything great. But because of the whole evolution gimmick and plus they added like what one new thing I believe. I believe they added a new thing, new training minigame. I could be wrong. It might have been the second game. But I'll give a respective C rank. It's all right. Hopefully, Duck Life 4 will be better, which is the one I'm excited to be playing, and I definitely will in the future. Anyways, Stick War 2. We haven't talked about Stick War in a while, so I guess you can apply that logic to a lot of these. So, Stick War. Okay, so in this game is definitely a pretty worthy successor. The only thing they really did was kind of take away. Man, I put this up kind of high last time. I guess when comparing Flash games, that's interesting. Like, the one thing took away I didn't like was the fact that you can't control the characters anymore. You can't play as them, which really stinks. I really like that feature. Having my own like unit that has slightly more HP and stuff, it was really fun. However, they definitely did plenty of like great stuff. Like in terms of the upgrade tree, you don't upgrade the units themselves anymore, but instead of other things around the units, which I think definitely makes a little bit more sense by like the other way too. And honestly, just looks a little bit better. And I had a lot more compliments in the original video, but I hard to remember in hindsight. You can upgrade Castle Arch. There's some interesting things you can totally upgrade. I think a couple new units as well, and the whole commands thing has more stuff in it. However, I would put it like above the first game overall, but like I can't quite put it at S tier. Like it's definitely close, and like somebody can potentially make an argument, but that character thing was definitely like a big thing for me. So the fact that I took that away is kind of hurts it a bit. Plus, not being able to upgrade characters anymore, like for the most part, is or in the way you could at least before was. But they're replaced with something nice. Music's good too. Overall, like a really like amazing sequel that is just honestly a fun time to play. Definitely a worthy sequel in my opinion. Very amazing game. All right, Don't Escape. All right, we got our very first Don't Escape game. It's like this, like if you haven't played, it's like a puzzle game that you essentially try and not escape because you're gonna become like this like werewolf. And honestly, I should have said it's probably gonna be spoilers. Might be minor spoilers or major ones maybe. Then I don't really talk about each game specifically because I'm worried the video will be like too long. Honestly, the puzzle game is pretty good. I like it. Well, like good, I guess. Like has music, though. It's pretty short and sweet. I do like the idea of like the don't escape instead of like all like the escape room games and stuff. It kind of like tries like to flip it a little bit, and that is like really unique in a good way. Honestly, though, I can't rate it like really high because it's short and compared to other games, it doesn't have like quite as much content and stuff. But honestly, I have to at least give it like somewhere in like, let's see, where do I have the other ones? I'd say high C tier. Since I'm comparing it to the others, I'd say it's definitely. I couldn't quite throw it into like, yeah, it's actually good, like level of things. But I think it's definitely definitely a ways there. Maybe the other Don't Escape games can maybe improve on that a bit more. We'll certainly have to see. All right, now our two Madness Combat ones: Madness Hydraulic and Madness Modification. Fortunately, fortunately with the last one, the Madness Combat games are pretty high on the list, and I kind of picked them out like remembering those a lot more. And yeah, I can kind of see why. Madness Hydraulic is like a game that's like this, like the Assailant one. However, it takes away the instead of like being like a story thing, it's essentially a survival thing, but it's kind of bare bones in terms of the upgrade stuff. There's not a whole lot in it in terms of variety. And since the game's guns are from the other game, I don't know which one of these two came first. But since I played Hydraulic second, it did kind of hurt it for me. But I'm not sure when these released, so I don't know if that's supposed to happen or not. They didn't really have enough gun selection. Like with Assailant, with how the game was, I didn't really notice it. But like since Hydraulic seems to be like a lot more waves and stuff, and you're a lot more focused on that, it's kind of hard to like really say a whole lot of great things about it. The best I can give it honestly is like mid to low C, to be honest. No, actually, I like the first two Bloons Star Defense a little bit more. I'd say. I think Duck Lives weren't. Thing. Somewhere around there. And modification is kind of just going straight to F tier. Like where do I begin? Some stuff didn't work. Didn't think there was any sound in the game, and even if there was, it probably wouldn't have been any good, to be honest. The gameplay didn't feel right. Just a lot of things went wrong with this one, and it's just not fun for me. So that's all I gotta say about that one. I gave it a try, and I really stunk compared to the other ones. Though it did feel like it was like an older game, so if that matters at all to you, then maybe keep that in mind. But this is me just more of a comparison. So, you know, Taylor Sar, get out of here. The variety of quality of these Flash games is one of the reasons I want to do this series because it's so like very interesting to me, especially going back and playing them all. You know, I wonder if I can do some kind of music thing in the background in these future videos. I wonder if there's like free copyright generic music. Maybe that'll be dumb. Actually, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure these video types out. Let me know any feedback you have. That'd be really nice. All right. Also, this time, one more thing I should mention, like terms of like overall, I did try to do a lot of these based on their titles instead of like images of a gameplay. Hopefully that's better. But some of these didn't crop out quite perfectly. Hopefully you can still tell what they are. So Age of War is definitely great. All until like the end, where even in like the easiest difficulty, it's kind of like a standstill waiting thing that kind of drags it down from being, oh, this is fun, getting all these like EXP, getting these different weapons, strategizing a few units. So yeah, whatever. It's cool. I give the overall experience. Let's see. I want to say B tier. I think it's like lower B tier. It was fun to play. Don't get me wrong. I did like the things. Maybe more troop variety. Maybe would have helped. And just a better end game would have probably fixed my issues with it. Anyways, let's move on. Castaway 2. Now, based on Castaway's once position, it's gonna be very surprising, but I like Castaway 2 a lot more. Like in general, Castaway 2 actually impressed me so much. It actually kind of is kind of been competing to me. Like what's this Arcos, the other like RPG game I played. Like they're both fun in their own ways. Like Arcos has like the cool jump attack, while Castaway 2 like you can actually hit your own thing. But you have like pets and stuff, which is cool, and you can get your own pets via eggs. And once you put on armor, you can actually see it. Arcos has one more upgrade thing that you can like choose to upgrade in terms of stats versus Castaway 2 and stuff like that. Now, honestly, to me, I can honestly go either way almost. Though I think I'm gonna just give Arcos just the slightest edge because I like the art style more. Castaway 2 kind of like dumbed it down a little bit more. I would say more kid friendly ish. Versus like the first game, which I actually liked Castaway 1's art style a bit more than the sequel. But that doesn't really take away from the fact that it's a lot better in terms of gameplay and everything else. And it's actually a great time to play, for sure. Alright, next is our Bloons Tower Defense game. Honestly, Bloons Tower Defense 4 blew me away for what it is. Like a lot of stuff came through. Like pink balloons showed up. A lot more towers became a thing. Like from like what the second game added like one thing or whatever, like what boomerangs, and third game added like the monkey beacon. The fourth game added like more than like what 6 or something. By the time it was like what its final like version, I'm guessing. And like it had its game modes, its map selection, the fast forward button. My one critique is with the upgrade system in this one. So with the others, it's like with the third one, you get like 2 upgrades on the left and 2 upgrades on the right. This one, while it does have 5 upgrades, so it did go up in upgrades, which is cool in that sense. Now it's only like 1 path, which does kind of annoy me because now it's like I don't really have any choices of any upgrade things in terms of that kind of strategy. But since there's a bunch of monkey types, it doesn't take it away too much. So I'm kind of debating whether this deserves S tier or like A tier because it really did bring up that vibe pretty well. It's just because you can't like have like different upgrade paths. I guess it took until what the 5th game, which we'll be looking at, to have the whole like the different upgrade paths, the left and right, with the 8 total upgrades, 4 on the left, 4 on the right, I believe, which definitely helps a lot more variety. And the 6th game goes crazy with 3 paths, but probably won't be playing the 6th game. I'm pretty sure that's not a web game at all, or a flash game when that came out. So overall, I'll give Bloons Tower Defense 4 like an A tier. I think a pretty high deserving A tier, like probably around maybe top A tier, honestly, because it really is like a great game. I just can't quite put it at S tier, honestly. Really fun. Definitely have a lot of time on that one. Next is Super Smash Flash 2, which honestly might deserve its own tier. This game was worked on like by hundreds of people, I believe. I think we even checked in the original video at the end, but essentially it was like where like a bunch of developers who are really big fans of Smash Flash 2, which the Smash Flash 1 maybe like what 1 person 1 month, which was still like not bad. It's pretty fun for all the content that's in it. And Smash Flash took it and cranked it up like multiple notches. Like it has more characters, and not only that, like the characters play a lot more better. It like plays really well, and the character roster is honestly is better in my opinion. Like it actually has a few anime characters. Four actually. It has the big three plus Goku, so it has like some most iconic like anime characters that you can actually play as with their own movesets and everything. And obviously all of them have ultimates and stuff. That's really cool. And playing with a couple of the characters in the video. I still really want to go back. There's like event challenges, like and all this other stuff, like training. There's like a training mode where you can actually look at stuff. This game, honestly, is like for a free game is really impressive, especially for Flash game standards. I know this was worked on like what till 2020 or something, I believe, but that is like crazy. So like compared to other Flash games, it's like yeah, that's. But I don't know if I want to make a whole other tier for that, but it definitely could definitely deserve its own tier, to be honest. All right, Burrito Bison, the original. I hate to say it, I don't like it. Like I played Burrito Bison Revenge, I played Luchador, I love those, but this original one is just like too bare bones for me. Like I know it's the OG, so it's like a starting point, but I can't. But it's like too bad in a sense. Like it's just really like boring quickly. But I can't give it quite F tier because it definitely should be on a tier a little bit higher than that because it does have achievements. It still does have some like the core mechanics like the rocket slam are important, of course. But you can see that video if you want to hear all my critiques on it. Oh, sorry about that. I tend to, for some reason, even though I'm not really sick, I tend to like do like small coughs for some reason when I do these. I'm not sure why exactly. All right, I'd probably say pretty high in D tier though, but I can't say I quite want to put it on C tier level. I just can't. Ref Wars 2, okay. So moving on. So where did I put Ref Wars 1 at? I put it right here. Kind of hard to see the 2 in Ref Wars, so that might be an issue for a couple people. Anyway, so Ref Wars 2 is interesting. So what it like, is it a great sequel? I think it does like just about as much like of a sequel as kind of like the Bloons Tower Defense games did early on, which is a little bit, but nothing major. Like there's a couple new like enemy types that exist. It's still the same length, and there's like one new shot type you can buy, like which like the triple shot thing, and then you can also buy like a health-ish upgrade. So it is like all right. Overall, I wouldn't. I will give it a tier up than its first game. I wait, where's the first one? Okay, actually not D tier. Where did I put it then? Oh, it's okay. I'd say it's at the bottom of B tier. Like it's good. Like it just barely to me like snakes up the. There's enough variety to say yeah, it's kind of no. That's hard. Actually, I put it top of C tier. That one's kind of debatable actually because there's only 2 permanent upgrade types and only 3 shot types. It is short though, so it's like short and sweet. Like it's not way too long. So by the time you get most of those upgrades, it's kind of like. So I guess it kind of deserves bottom of B tier, in that sense. Like if it was like a longer game and it really only had those upgrades, then sure. That one I kind of mixed feelings on, but I definitely do like it more than the original. Obviously, as I like the map, the set pieces, the idea of it being a water park makes a lot of sense for it. Especially the first game was just in the ocean. So yeah, it was good. It was good, for sure. All right, so 5 games left. Still gonna be like 20 minutes, I bet. Watch, I swear, 30 minutes. All around me are familiar faces. Papa Burgeria. Okay, so this game is fun, like like a burger maker simulator thing. Like I could see like the potential like difficulties of having multiple customers, different order types, doing everything well, and getting tips to improve waiting times and everything. Though I will say that I wish there was a bit more upgrade variety. Like a good amount of it was just waiting score, which waiting score is good, but I wish the other upgrade things had more variety and more upgrades in general. Where, however, for like the first like Papa game, I'd say they did pretty good. Wait, Burgeria is the first one, right? Has to be. I swear, if it's not, I would genuinely be surprised. 'Cause I swear, I thought I looked it up at one point. And the way it's on like the mobile games, like because you can get on your Apple and Android. It was like the first one, which also makes me think that it's probably that. Anyway, overall, I'd say it's probably somewhere in C tier, probably around where I'd say, I mean, actually a little bit higher than the whole like resort thing. Probably not as high as Territory War though. So like, yeah, I think somewhere around there would be good for Papa's Burgeria. It's definitely like fun in the terms of like making burgers, but the rest of it is okay. Like you'll hear the same music track kind of like the whole time, which is kind of a common occurrence of these flash games. I think some of these flash games I don't have to think about it. Though it's cool that you have the customer stars. Like, and also a lot of this, since a lot of different game types, it's also a bit on preference. So I should mention there might be a slight bias. Now I'm thinking about it. Now with actually all the stuff in it, I do think it actually could qualify for high C tier. Oh no, the Don't Escape though might. It's hard because if there's any of you in the comments that could, like honestly I could see somebody make like a good argument. 1 second.
Josh, here.
I really need to turn that thing on. Anyway, um, I kind of lost my track of thought. Make an argument where I actually like may consider it like a game because like a lot of qualifications and because I don't want this video to take forever. I had to like meditate some of my game opinions slightly, like think about it a bit with playing it to try and make this video a little better. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, enough about that. So, Strike Force 2. That's a game that exists. Honestly, a pretty good sequel to the OG. Where did I put the OG? Honestly, let me put the original. Where did I put the original? B tier. Okay, I'd say it deserves A tier then. I kind of felt like it was definitely an A tier game anyway. Like essentially, what it takes like everything good about the first game, adds like more guns, like gun variety, and adds like a new game mode, gun game, which is fun. Another reason why I said it's a little bit like Call of Duty. I made a mention of that I think in both of those game views. Like it's like to me I could kind of see it as like a funny like 2D Call of Duty in some sense. Though I feel like diehard Call of Duty fans would just make really mad at me. As me who plays a little bit casually here and there, that's kind of the kind of vibe I get from it. And that's a good thing. Also, they have like this like slots thing that I enjoy, and they have all these extra camos you can unlock. There's like characters have a lot more like they have like the little backstory things, and descriptions of like the character classes, and it's honestly just pretty cool. So putting it any lower than A tier probably would be disrespectful, honestly, because this game was actually pretty cool, and the campaign's a bit better too. Next up is Give Up 2. Oh my gosh, this one frustrated the freak out. This and Commando frustrated me actually. When I think about it, but Give Up 2 had some moments. Where did I put original Give Up actually? Where is that thing at? Okay, I put that one B tier. Okay, so Give Up 2 essentially like took what the first game had, but added like a funny like scene when you give up in the game that I was forced to watch through twice. And I will say that was a bit of a funny moment. The AI has a voice now, like it talks. Voice acting, which definitely adds a bit more charm into the character. And honestly, I just prefer voice acting rather than just reading text personally. So I vibe with that. And there's like some now there's like certain like AI like AI what's it called, like the bats and rhinos, like, well, that's what it kind of feels like anyway. Um, uh, Obstacles, so definitely has more obstacles thing. I'd say I couldn't quite say it's compared to the other games. Actually, I'd say it's at the very very bottom actually. Um, well, some of these I would, cause I would probably be willing to switch around. Like this game could honestly probably be a bit lower compared to some of the others, but am I allowed to shift it once from the original? Like, cause there's like now I see there's like other games, and I actually kind of do like Superfight just a slightly bit more. But you see how my opinion can like change after like thinking about it. It's kind of, that's how like close some of these games are to me. And this one a little too much credit, I think. I mean, it's good, but I don't know. I feel like this should be here, while these should be here. Honestly, in terms of quality. He said I could definitely do some minor adjustments. I need to stop. I need to stop, bro. But yeah, Go to, I think just barely to me slides in the A tier spot. If you like hard parkour games, while it's not like, I wouldn't say it's quite S tier or high A tier, it is still like, it is kind of great, for sure, for sure. For what its like variety has, and you get the bonus level, you can get bonus levels, and honestly, I think everything combined just kind of slides it right there, just kind of pulled up. Hobo 1. Okay. That was interesting. So, like, the first portion of the game, you don't really have combos, so you're kind of like, it's just your regular combat stuff. Keep in mind, I did play this one in easy mode, so I got through it quickly. I'll probably try the other ones on normal mode, maybe, to just have a bit more challenge. I didn't know how hard or easy it'd be on easy. My prime example is Commando, because Commando easy mode, I died a bunch of times. Versus Hobo, where, like, I had, like, not much trouble at all. So, trying to tell difficulties in Flash games is, or in general, to me, it just depends on how the developers create their game and stuff. So, Hobo, I'd say, is certainly a game. A little gross, but it is some people might find that funny. I find that I kind of find it funny. Uh, Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. There's a couple combos you can there's a little bit of strategy, especially like later game. But since you really don't have that strategy for like the early half, but you can still do a couple things. I'd say putting it any higher than the C tier range wouldn't really be fair. Oh, we now C's actually expanded itself, so interesting. That's the first tier to get there, but I guess that there's a trend about these games, these C level games. I think there's one around that range, somewhere in there. You're like on the middle end. I did kind of like. I definitely liked it a little bit. All right, Commando. Okay, here's the thing about Commando. That one actively frustrated me in some parts. I remember liking Commando 2. I thought Commando 1 was just gonna be similar enough to where like I would like it. But like the aiming is just like the enemy basically being like the exact same throughout a lot of the portion to like what the end part. And even then, like, you could just tell they were like reskins. Sure, you got like a couple, like you got like the tank and stuff, and there was a couple unique parts. I'll give it that credit. But there wasn't like an indication with like there's like this crate section where like I thought I was, maybe I was just high enough to jump it. I wasn't too sure, and I kind of lost a life. And yeah, it's just I don't want to. I don't know if I'd quite throw an F tier though, because I don't know if it was like really awful. Like, because I can't say that because like the sound effects were cool, and like, and I will say that the map, the way it like looks, layout is kind of cool. So I think it deserves like D tier. I can't give it any higher than that though. 60 seconds should probably be a little higher, actually. Because I actually remember probably in the video I had a little bit more entertainment than the others. Look at me, still readjusting. Anyway, that is my tier list this time around. Hopefully this wasn't quite as long. We'll figure it out the flow of the video. Let me know what you think. With this many games to rank, there's I think 42 on here now. Like, I definitely gonna have some differing opinions. Like with 42 games, I doubt like especially if like you've played like that all these, which probably not. But if you did, then probably gonna have a different opinion of me at least in some of them. So I'm kind of wondering what y'all think as well. I'm just one person, so love to hear that in the comments. Anyways, we'll guess we'll wrap it up here, obviously. So we'll see you later. Peace. Oh, right. The full screen. Peace. Eat.